Oh my God, are you guys ready to hear one of the craziest stories ever? Like, I literally just heard about this and I was mother effing shook. My jaw on the floor. My flabber was gasted. It has to do with The Bachelor from 2022. His name is Clayton Echard. And if you're a regular Bachelor viewer and if you're like in Bachelor Nation, you probably know the story already, or you might have an idea of what I'm talking about. And if you're not in Bachelor Nation, like you don't watch it, you don't care for it, it's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to know anything about the show. The story just happens to involve a prior Bachelor. And since there are lawsuits being thrown left and right, everything I say in this video is alleged. I don't have any facts, I don't have any proof or whatever, and everything I say is in my opinion, okay? I got all my information from the Bachelor subreddit, a YouTuber named Dave Neal. He has so many videos about this. He's been supporting Clayton Echard and getting his story out because nobody else will talk about it. And so check out his YouTube channel after if you want to really dive in and get more details. And I also got most of the details from interviews that Clayton has done himself. So let's get into this crazy ass story. Now let's talk about Clayton. He was the Bachelor in 2022 and things did not end up working out with the woman that he chose. They did date for a while and then they broke up, but they remain very good friends. Now fast forward a couple months to maybe even a year, he's trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. You know, he doesn't want to just take thirst traps on Instagram and beg brands to sponsor his posts. You know what I mean? So he decides to get into real estate. So he goes to real estate school, studies, passes, gets his license, and now he's a newly hired real estate agent at some brokerage. He's updating his LinkedIn profile, and all of a sudden, ding ding, he gets a message. And we're just gonna call this woman Looney, okay? Obviously, it is not her real name. She wanted to stay anonymous, even though she did end up kind of exposing herself towards the end, but let's just call her Looney and keep her anonymous. So ding ding, he gets a message from a woman named Looney. He opens it, and Looney's like, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of somebody at your brokerage. I'm really interested in buying some investment properties, but I haven't been able to get a hold of anyone, so I hope you and I can connect. Clayton sees this message and he's so excited. I mean, he just got his real estate license and he's already got his first potential client. It's literally being handed to him on a silver platter. He's like, oh my God, this is too good to be true. Clayton's pumped. He's ready to work. So he gives her his number and they start chatting. They start talking and things get a little flirty. But Clayton's used to it. Like, he was the Bachelor and he's used to so many women throwing themselves at him, flirting with him. And so this is nothing new, but he does realize it's a little awkward and a little weird since this is like a professional relationship. But he tells himself, you know what, as long as we don't cross any lines, it should be fine. I mean, a little harmless flirting hurt no one, right? So they're talking, and eventually their conversation turns pretty sexual. They're flirting hard back and forth. And then she sends him a spicy picture. The edible that he took an hour ago has finally kicked in. He's feeling real good. And he tells her, you can come over if you want. And so she does. And they hook up twice that night. So the morning after, it's a little awkward, but they pretend nothing happened and they go out and look at houses. He's showing her around and he's realizing that he crossed some major professional lines. This is somebody he's going to have to continue to see professionally. And it's not like a one-night stand where you could hook up and never see them again or never talk to them again. He's going to have to keep seeing her. You know, it's awkward. So he decides he's going to have to address this, confront her, and tell her that he wants to keep things professional going forward. After he's done showing her the houses, he pulls her aside and he's like, hey, Looney, I just wanted to talk to you about last night. You know, I'm really sorry. I crossed a major line. I wanted you to know I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm supposed to be your agent. And, you know, I just want to keep things professional. But if you feel uncomfortable with me, I totally understand and I can send you to another agent. She immediately starts crying. And she's like, I thought we had an amazing connection. Like, are you willing to at least give us a chance? And he's like, no, I'm sorry. I really should have been clear about that before we hooked up. I'm so sorry. It's my fault, but I'm not looking for a relationship or anything serious at all. All right. Okay, I understand. And they part ways. Later, she sends him a text. Are you sure you don't want to give us a chance? And he's like, what the hell? And he tells her, yes, I'm positive. Again, I'm so sorry. I should have been clear with you. If you're uncomfortable with me, I can totally give all your information to my coworker and he can handle the rest. And she tells him, okay, I understand. And no, I don't want a new agent. I want you to be my agent. So they both agree to keep things professional. And he's like, whoo, that was close. She lets him know she's ready to make 2 offers. She wants to buy one house for herself to live in and another one as an investment property that she can rent out. Clayton's thinking, oh my God, that is insane. I'm going to sell 2 properties, not just one. And he's like, okay, I just need to verify that you have all the funds. So she sends over all the proof of funds and confirmed that she wanted to make 2 offers. So he's like, oh my God, this is working out great. So he gets all the paperwork ready and he sends it to her. And he's like, just look over everything, take your time, sign everything you need to sign, and send it back to me within like a couple days. Then a minute later, ding, he gets a notification that she signed everything. And he's like, that was really insanely fast. Like, did you read everything? Because the document's like 10 pages. And she goes, it's okay, I trust you. He's like, what the fuck? Okay. Then she tells him everything's all set. I signed everything, so please submit my offers. And he's like, okay. Then about an hour later, he gets another text from her saying, you know, I had some more time to think about this, and I just don't think I can continue with you being my agent if you're not going to give our relationship a chance. What is even happening? He is panicking. He's like, this is not normal. I've told her so many times that I do not want a relationship. Why does she keep asking me if I want to give us a chance? So he responds very professionally. Listen, again, I apologize for not making myself clear before we hooked up, but I am not looking for a relationship or anything serious, blah, blah, blah. He's basically repeating the same thing that he's been telling her this whole time. Then she says, all right, well, can you at least take me out for drinks then? No pressure of a relationship. Let's just relax, hang out, have a drink. Clayton's like, yeah, sure. I can take you out for a celebratory drink after we close this deal. And then she goes, okay, it's a date. No, it's not a date. Just to be clear, it's like a professional celebratory drink. Why can't we just call it a date, Clayton? Because we have a business professional relationship. Okay, whatever. Just submit the offers and send me the contracts. At this point, he has alarm bells ringing and ringing, okay? Red flags are thrown in his face. This is crazy. A lot of things just don't feel right, and he has this gut feeling that she's going to end up pulling her offers altogether. So what he ends up doing is he doesn't submit the offers, and he just kind of like holds on to them because he has a feeling that something's about to happen. And guess what, bitch? It does. Shortly after, she sends him another text saying, I can't do this anymore. If you're not going to give our relationship a chance, I don't feel comfortable buying these houses from you. And he's like, oh my God, I knew it. And so he tells her, I just sent these offers over, and if you pull out now, I'm going to look so bad to everybody. Nobody's going to take me seriously in this business ever again. You need to tell me right now, once and for all, are you going to buy these properties or not? And then she tells him, Clayton, there are thousands of other agents I could work with. So if you're not going to give our relationship a chance, then I'm not going to work with you. He cannot believe the words that he's reading. He's like, is this a joke? Like, am I living? Is this a bad dream? Like, what the hell is going on? Is she threatening me to like date her? Like, what? So he finally says, all right, I'm done. I cannot represent you any longer. And if you decide to move forward with these purchases, it's going to be with another agent. And pretty much Clayton just wanted to wipe his hands clean. He got a really bad feeling. He didn't even care. So if he sold the properties, he would have gotten like a $30,000 to $40,000 commission check. And he didn't even care about that. He didn't even want it. He just wanted this batshit crazy woman to go away. So he was willing to give up that money and he was going to refer her to another agent. So then she gets this message and she starts panicking and she texts him, no, I don't want another agent. I only feel comfortable with you. Please be my agent. And he says, no, I'm going to refer you to this other agent. And he's actually way more experienced than me. He's way more knowledgeable than me. And you'll be picking right back up where we left off. Like, everything's going to go so smoothly for you. And it's actually going to be better for you because he's way more experienced than I am. And she refuses. She's like, no, Absolutely not. We started this together. We're going to end this together. What's the status of my 2 offers? Like, give me the status of the deals. He didn't even entertain her. He was like, listen, this person, ABC, is going to take over and goodbye. And he cut off all communication with her. He deleted her. He blocked her. He basically ended all ties with her. The end. Just kidding. Oh God, I wish it was the end. Whew, okay. The next day, she ends up going, I don't know the specifics of how it happened, but she ended up going to another agent to ask her what the status of her deals were. And then they checked and they were like, we never got your offers. And she's like, oh my God, he told me that he submitted the offer. So you're telling me that he lied to me and told me that he submitted the offers when he didn't, which is apparently a violation of some real estate code. And so she texts him. She's like, wow, you violated da-da-da-da-da-da. It's against the rules and you could lose your license, buddy. And so he's in panic mode again and he's stressing out. And so he tells his boss, okay, about the whole entire situation and how she's threatening him and stalking him and how she's fucking crazy. And he provides all the email chains and the text messages back and forth. And what she ended up doing was she reported him to the AARE and the ADRE, which are the official state of Arizona departments and associations of real estate, basically. And she contacted them to file an official complaint so that they could take away his license so that he could never work again, allegedly. So after she filed the official complaint, the ADRE acknowledged that Clayton did in fact violate one of their policies, but they're not going to penalize him because he sent in all the proof that she's been harassing him. So now he's like, thank God this is over. It's done. Like, I never have to deal with her again, right? Well, he was wrong. One day, ding, he gets a text message from her, and it's a picture of a positive pregnancy test. And she wrote, hi, I'm pregnant, and it's yours. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing to be insensitive to anybody, but it's just crazy how all of this happened. Like, he finally thought he got rid of her. And oops, I forgot we hooked up twice and now she's pregnant with my child. Oh my God, what the fork? And he's like, wait, how is this possible? How is she pregnant with my child? Because you guys, I forgot to tell you, they didn't even have sex. Yeah, when they hooked up twice, she gave him 2 blowies. There was no penetration, there was no sex. There was a little bit of dry Humpty Dumpty, but again, no sex. So he tells her, that's impossible. We didn't even do it. And then she says, it must have happened between the first time and the second time because basically after he finished the first time, it got hot and heavy again and they were making out and they did the dry Humpty Dumpty and then they got in their birthday suits and then she ate his lollipop again. So he's like, huh? And she's like, I don't know, but I'm pregnant and it's yours because I haven't hooked up with anybody in like a year. So now his mind is going a million miles a minute. Like, can you imagine? He's trying to think of all these scenarios. He's Googling a bunch of stuff and suddenly he remembers that after she ate his lollipop a second time, she ran to the bathroom right after he finished. So I'm going to say this part without getting demonetized, but also not having to censor out a bunch of words. So use your imagination and I'm sure you'll catch the drift. So the only realistic thing that could have happened in his opinion was she must have had the ooey gooey filling from his lollipop in her mouth, ran to the bathroom, spit it out, and then put the ooey gooey filling from his lollipop into her donut hole. And that's how she became pregnant. She asks him, do you want me to get an abortion? And he says, you know what? I'm just going to be honest. I don't want to have kids with you. I don't want to raise kids with you. And if you decide to have this kid, I'm not going to be a part of it. But I will financially, take responsibility. But we are not going to raise this kid together. And I am not going to be in this child's life. And she goes, okay, well, I can tell you want an abortion and I'll do the abortion if we date for 2 weeks. He's like, what the fuck is going on? None of this is making sense. She is cook-a-doodle-doo. So he just says, you know what? We need to talk face to face. Can you please come over? And she's like, yeah, I can. So she goes on over. When she gets to his place, he's like, by the way, I have a pregnancy test of my own. Can you please take it? And she's like, ugh, okay, well, I just took a pregnancy test this morning and I am definitely pregnant. And he's like, well, take mine. And so he leads her to the bathroom, but he makes sure that she has nothing else on her so that she can't like fake this pregnancy test. So he confirms that she has nothing else. And then she goes to the bathroom. She pees on the stick, comes out, and guess what? She's mother effing pregnant. There's 2 lines on the pregnancy test. It's the test that he bought. And he's like, fuck me in the ass. No, just kidding. Fuck my life would have been better. Yeah, he said fuck my life. So now he sees his positive pregnancy test and he just cannot wrap his mind around how this could happen because they didn't do it. So he starts Googling all these scenarios and what could cause false positive pregnancy tests. And he finds out that a lot of medication, well, maybe not a lot, I just made that up. Some medication can cause a false pregnancy test because some medications, including the one that she takes for epilepsy, causes the hormone HCG, which is essentially the hormone that the pregnancy tests look for. So he tells her this and she's like, no way. I've been on this medication for so many years and I've never had a positive pregnancy test. So then he's thinking to himself, there's just no way. Like, I do not believe this. If she is pregnant, then it can't be mine. So he tells her, she needs to do an ultrasound and a prenatal paternity test. And that pissed her off because she was so offended that, you know, he would insinuate that she was a whore. So after that day, he cut off all communication with her. He blocked her number and he stopped responding to her emails. But she was emailing him non-stop every single day, like harassing him over and over. She would send emails like, you need to take responsibility for your child. Or things like, I'm under so much stress that this could harm the baby. And in one email, she even said, our baby could be born with special needs because you are putting me through so much stress. So if our baby is born with special needs, it's going to be all your fault. So he makes it very clear to her, we are not speaking until you get your ultrasound and we get the prenatal paternity test. Then she begs him for another chance. She's like, can we just see each other one last time? Like, I just need to see you face to face. Like, please let me just come over and talk to you. And she even tries to seduce him over email. She was like, you know, you're going to know that you are the father. I haven't had schmex in such a long time. You're going to feel how tight I am. Like, really bizarre stuff. And I guess in her mind, she thought, you know, Clayton, he's a man, all his hormones, he's so horny, like that's going to take over and he's going to be seduced and he's just going to want to bang it out one last time. Despite all her efforts, that didn't work on him. He was like, hell no. And by the way, this went on and on and on and on and on over and over and over again. Like, she was messaging him nonstop. She basically tried everything she could 1,000 times and nothing worked. So the prenatal paternity test couldn't be done for 8 weeks and she was harassing him nonstop during those 8 weeks. And not only was she emailing him, she was emailing his job. And also he had some speaking engagements and like, I don't know, work events. And he was emailing all these locations and facilities that he was scheduled to go to, saying he was a horrible person. He got me pregnant and he's not taking responsibility. He just shut me down. He blocked me. He's a garbage person, blah, 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 blah. I mean, can you freaking imagine the stress that this man was under? Like, I can't even imagine. Oh my God. So the day of the prenatal appointment is finally here. Thank God. She was supposed to FaceTime him so he'd be a part of the appointment to ask questions, to get verification. But then she ended up canceling the appointment with some dumb excuse. She was like, I don't feel safe because you don't want to be in a relationship with me, so I just don't feel safe. And so she canceled and rescheduled it. So again, he completely cut off all communication with her and he just stopped responding until that appointment came. Well, Miss Kookadoodle-Doo did not like this. She did not like he was cutting her off again. And so she threatened him and said, if you don't give me a chance or if we don't talk this out, I'm going to go public and I'm going to tell the whole world what a freaking asshole you are, okay? And everybody's going to hate you. And not only am I going to take it public, but I'm going to get legal involved. So Clayton starts getting a bunch of calls and emails nonstop from tabloids, from media. And it was ultimately The Sun who said that they were going to publish their article, even though there was no proof that he was the father. And he's like, how are you going to post this article without any proof? Like, you didn't even get an ultrasound. You didn't even get results for the prenatal DNA. And they were like, well, she said she was with your child, so we're going to run with it. And allegedly, okay, I don't know if this is exactly how it went down, allegedly. And so they posted it and it went crazy. It went crazy. Everybody was reading about it. Everybody was calling him a piece of shit, a horrible monster. And in this article is when he learned that she was pregnant with twins. The entire world is calling him a scumbag, a piece of shit, deadbeat dad, all these horrible names. She also anonymously posted on the Bachelor subreddit saying that she was the anonymous woman from the article that Clayton impregnated and left to die alone. Blah, 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 blah. And that post was on fire. Like, everybody was like, oh my God, talking to her, asking her questions. Everybody's on her side supporting her until things got like really fishy. But he emails her demanding a paternity test. And she says, I'd love to do it, but there's no facility that will do a test on twins. He's like, oh my God, that's why she chose twins, because they won't test on twins. So at this point, he's going through mental hell with the media, with the public, with her. It's an absolute shitstorm. Then one day he gets a DM advising Clayton to look into a court case that involved Looney, because apparently something very similar happened with Looney and another guy. So he Googles and Googles and he finds the court case. He reads it. And basically, she accused another guy in 2021 of pretty much the exact same thing, impregnating her with twins. Then he dug some more and found another court case from 2018 with another guy being accused of pretty much the same thing by her. So now he doesn't feel so crazy. Now he's like, oh my God, she's done this before. Like, I need to say something to take back the narrative because my life is being destroyed right now. Everything is spiraling out of control. And like I said, he's losing brand deals. He's losing sponsorships. Like, this is fucking with his money, his income, his livelihood. So he posts an Instagram story stating that she's accused two other guys in the past of the same thing. He also called all these medical centers to see if they would do the test on twins. And he finally found a facility that would do it. So he booked his appointment, paid for it. He screenshot his evidence that, he has this appointment. And then he posted on Instagram saying he was waiting for Looney to make her appointment so that now the ball's in her court. And since it was public and everybody could see this, she scheduled hers. Once he saw that she scheduled hers, he was a little taken aback. He was a little paranoid. He was a little worried. He was like, oh my God, why would she schedule this if she's not pregnant? Is she really pregnant? Oh no. Oh no, what's going on? So he got really nervous. She took the test. The test results come back as, quote, showing little to no fetal DNA, which is so crazy because at this point she's like 9 to 10 weeks. And there's no way that no to little fetal DNA would be found if she's 9 to 10 weeks pregnant. So Clayton calls a clinic and he's like, can I just have this in writing, like an official document saying that you found no to little fetal DNA? And they said no. And he's like, why not? And they said basically they're only allowed to give a yes or a no, not maybes, not inconclusives, not little to no fetal DNA. It's just a yes or a no. And since it's not a yes or a no in this case, they can't give like an official document. So she's going to have to wait a couple more weeks and test again. And he's like, a couple more weeks? I don't have a couple more weeks. In a couple weeks, if this keeps going on, like I might as well be dead. Like what? Meanwhile, she's still trashing him. She is posting on Reddit nonstop, and she even compiled like proof that she was pregnant with his twins. Like she had a picture of her ultrasound, a video of her ultrasound, and put a Dropbox link to Reddit saying, this is all my proof. I'm right. He's wrong. And here you go. This bitch was not going to stop. Okay, this bitch was gonna keep going until she completely ruined his life, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion. Now, Reddit was completely trashing him until they found a few holes in her story and things just weren't adding up. The proof, like the picture and the videos of the ultrasound, were a little shady. And so even though Reddit was trashing him in the beginning, they ended up helping him a ton, okay? They came to his rescue because one of the Redditors were digging, and guess what they found? They found a matching ultrasound video on YouTube that was posted 6 years ago. It was exactly matching. So Clayton sees this Reddit post. He reaches out to the owner of the original YouTube video and asks them for verification that this was their ultrasound. She confirmed. And now he has his proof. He's like, can you please write, saying something that you are the owner of this ultrasound, blah, blah, blah. She was like, okay, cool. And now he has his proof that Looney used someone else's ultrasound. At this point, Clayton felt like he had enough to make his own video proving his side. So he posted his own video saying she is absolutely not pregnant. She's lying. This is what happened with the prenatal DNA test. And this isn't even her ultrasound, blah, 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 blah. Now, I didn't watch this video. I heard that he was very callous and very cold and like very direct. And a lot of people took it not well. Like they thought he was like kind of a jerk. But put yourself in Clayton's shoes. If somebody was trying to actively ruin your whole entire life, wouldn't you be pissed? So she filed a restraining order and some other legal stuff. Now, I'm just going to be honest. I don't know the ins and outs of their legal battles, so I'm not going to talk about it. But basically, she filed some stuff first, and then he filed an injunction, and I believe he won. So she couldn't go after him legally after that. Whew. So now y'all think it ended, right? Nope. He gets another email from her threatening him again. She basically says in the email that she is going to announce the arrival of her twins and remind everybody that he's a piece of shit who wouldn't take responsibility. She's going to tag him on social media and everybody's going to hate him again. Of course, that is unless he agrees to date her. And at the end of the email, there's a legal disclaimer. It's like a waiver saying that if he doesn't respond to her email, then she's taking that as an acknowledgement of paternity and approval to post that on social media. Like, what the hell? Is that even legal? Like, is that even... What? Hey, I just wanted to let you know that if you don't respond, then I'm going to take it as a yes and that you're taking responsibility for being the father of the babies. And that's that on that. What the fuck? Now, around this time, Reddit is completely on Clayton's side. They found out what a horrible, crazy, psychotic bitch she is, and they've exposed her. And also, while all of this is going on, the YouTuber Dave Neal is really speaking up for Clayton, like spreading the word. Like, this is crazy what's happening, and nobody is talking about it. Not a single person in Bachelor Nation is talking about it. But Dave Neal is really pushing this story, and he just wants Clayton to get justice. And so because of that, Looney filed a lawsuit against him. So now she's going after him for, cyberbullying. Ultimately, she ended up not posting the twin arrival post on social media, but instead, she released an article on Medium. And the title reads, "Unveiling the Unbearable, My Battle Against Cyberbullying and Online Harassment." It's a long-ass bogus article, allegedly, okay, in my opinion. It's bogus. She's defending herself, sticking to her pregnancy story, okay? She's sticking to the story that she's pregnant with Clayton's twins. And now she's being relentlessly harassed and bullied online by Dave Neal's followers. And she's so mentally drained and depressed, blah, 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 blah. And she will no longer give any pregnancy updates going forward. Now, even though Reddit is on his side, he hasn't been able to get that, proof that he is not the father. He never got her pregnant. If anybody like Joe Schmo Googles his name, they're just going to see the headlines. Clayton Echard got this woman pregnant and deserted her, didn't take responsibility. And that's it. Nobody's going to go into the weeds and find out what really happened. Clayton is very worried that, one, she's going to claim that she miscarried, or she's going to claim that she gave the kids up for adoption. And this is essentially pushing the narrative that Clayton caused all of this and that what she said is true. So his lawyer told him that from when she last confirmed her pregnancy in court, it would be way too late for a miscarriage because she's too far along, meaning that it'd have to end up being a stillborn baby, meaning she would have to provide a death certificate. So that option's out because she's not going to be able to provide death certificates. So what else could she possibly do to get out of this? And he wants the world to know that she is guilty and he is innocent. So another thing that she could come up with is she gave them up for adoption. So what his lawyer did was he filed a punitive father registry, which is essentially if you think you could have gotten a woman pregnant, when that child is delivered, you have a legal say in what happens to that child before anything happens. So like when the woman delivers a baby, she cannot just choose to give it away for adoption if the father has not consented, basically. So the father must legally be involved in the decision. And so now he's protected in that sense because if Looney has his twins, she can't just say that she gave him up for adoption because he would have to be notified. All Clayton wants to do is clear his name. He wants her to admit the frickin' truth, and that's it. So as of now, what is going on? She's disappeared from the internet. Her supposed twins are due in mid-February, which is like less than a month away, so can't wait for that. And Clayton is in $100,000 worth of debt and legal fees because of this one crazy psychotic person who decided to ruin his life. This is so insane. I just can't wrap my mind around it. And not only Clayton, now the YouTuber Dave Neal is going through a lawsuit because of her. And so they're both drowning in legal fees. So I'm going to post both of their GoFundMes. I did make a small donation the other day. So if you feel it in your heart that you want to contribute to helping them fight this psychotic, fucking batshit crazy woman, then please do so. I will link everything below in the description. So yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you guys think? Isn't it crazy? I just feel so bad for Clayton. And it's also upsetting that his colleagues, Bachelor Nation, people that he's friends with on the show, no one is talking about it. He's kind of like doing this alone. It's so sad. So yeah, I just wanted to share his story and show him some support. And I just cannot believe there are people like this out there, like next to you, reaching out to you. Like, be careful who you talk to, you guys. Just be careful. All right? So stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.